Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. On the behalf of Major General Eugene LeBeouf, the Deputy Commanding General of the United States Army Reserve Command, welcome to the Change of Command ceremony for the 108th Training Command Initial Entry Training. Today, Major General Andrew Juknelis will relinquish command responsibility as the 108th Training Command Initial Entry Training Commander to Major General William B. Dyer III. Among our distinguished guests for today's ceremonies are the Honorable Kevin Schwedo, Civilian Aide to the Secretary of the Army, South Carolina. Blair Schwedo, Civilian Aide to the Secretary of the Army, North Carolina. Brigadier General Eric Folkstead, Deputy Commanding General, 81st Readiness Division. Command Sergeant Major Filson Tavernier, Command Sergeant Major, Fort Jackson. Sergeant Major Melissa Solomon, Deputy Commandant, Drill Sergeant Academy. Colonel Retired Richard Dukes and Mrs. Lisa Dukes. Command Sergeant Major Retired William Chapman. We'd also like to recognize fellow commanders, Command Sergeant Majors, family, and friends who've joined us for today's ceremony. The 108th Training Command provides Army Reserve drill sergeants and instructors to support the Army's initial entry training program and commands 3 subordinate divisions along with their subordinate brigades who are represented on the field today. From your left, the formations presented are the 208th Army Band, commanded by Chief Warrant Officer 3, Robert Slade. The drum major is Sergeant First Class Jeffrey Reynolds. HHC 108th Training Command, commanded by Captain Tara Matulant and her First Sergeant, Sean Peterson. The 95th Training Division, commanded by Brigadier General Susie Quelan and her Command Sergeant Major, Sean Edwards. 1st Brigade, 95th Training Division, commanded by Colonel Wilson Ramos and his Command Sergeant Major, Dwight Kerr. 2nd Brigade, 95th Training Division, commanded by Colonel Jason Guerrero and his Command Sergeant Major, Eric Roberts. 3rd Brigade, 95th Training Division, commanded by Colonel Carr Herbst and his Command Sergeant Major, Michael Tetmeyer. The 108th Training Command Color Guard, including representatives from each training division and under the direction of Command Sergeant Major Judd Musso. The 108th Training Command Sergeant Major. The 98th Training Division, commanded by Brigadier General David Samuelson and his Command Sergeant Major, Todd Kane. 1st Brigade, 98th Training Division, commanded by Colonel Michael Massey and his Command Sergeant Major, Clint Hale. 2nd Brigade, 98th Training Division, commanded by Colonel Matthew Lawson and Command Sergeant Major, Kenneth Randalls. 3rd Brigade, 98th Training Division, commanded by Colonel Antonio Martinez and Command Sergeant Major Terry Patterson. The 104th Training Division, commanded by Colonel Ryan Nilson and his Command Sergeant Major Neil Pierce. 1st Brigade, 104th Training Division, commanded by Colonel James Waldrop and his Command Sergeant Major Jeffrey Renfro. 2nd Brigade, 104th Training Division, commanded by Colonel Ali Basik and his Command Sergeant Major, Randall Norman. The soldiers on the field represent every warrior from all our brigades and divisions across the 108th Training Command, first in training. Today's ceremony is a reflection of procedures practiced since the birth of our Army in 1775. The formation of troops centered on the national flag represent the united purpose of the Army and its willingness to make the ultimate sacrifice in the defense of our nation. The colors represent each unit. Each is a symbol of pride, tradition, and history. Unit colors serve to mark the location of an organization's headquarters and its commander. When a unit's colors are removed from their headquarters, such as for today's ceremony, they remain under guard. This is more than tradition, a solemn recognition and devotion to the sacrifice and gallantry of those who have served under those colors. The task guarding the unit colors is an honor given only to the finest of soldiers. The commander of troops for today's change of command ceremony is Colonel Mark Dietrich. The ceremony will begin with the adjutant directs the units be brought to attention. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and direct your attention to the reviewer stand for the arrival of the official party and honors. The invocation offered today will be given by Chaplain Anthony Holloway.
Let us pray. Almighty God, we invoke your presence and blessings upon this significant moment in the history of the 108 as command passes from General Juknelis to General Dyer. For General Juknelis, we ask your continued blessings upon him as he moves to the next chapter of his career. And for General Dyer, we pray wisdom and courage that will enable him to command the 108 into its next era. Endow those in the formation with the heart to make his time here successful, so that we may remain the first in training. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, the 108th Training Command 2022 Non-Commissioned Officer of the Year, Sergeant First Class Deborah Rossiter is presenting May Juknelis, spouse of Major General Juknelis, a bouquet of red roses an appreciation of her support and devotion to the soldiers and families of the 108th Training Command. Red roses signify the bond and loyalty and affection between soldiers and families. The fully blossomed flowers symbolize the beauty and fulfillment of the spouse's dedicated support to the command and our soldiers. At this time, the 108th Training Command 2022 Soldier of the Year, Sergeant Brady Benedict, is presenting Jill Dyer, spouse of Major General Dyer, a bouquet of yellow roses, welcoming her to the 108th Training Command. Yellow is the color of new beginnings and symbolizes her arrival to the command. In time, Jill Dyer's rosebuds will blossom and her relationship with the soldiers and their families. At this time, the Army's Reserve Drill Sergeant of the Year, Drill Sergeant Lauren Pope, on the behalf of the entire Training Command, will present a Golden Griffin to Major General Juknelis.
Present the command. Order. Now present arms.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of our national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, the history of the 108th Training Command. Activated as the 108th Airborne Division after World War II, 1946, the Golden Griffins were originally headquartered in Atlanta, Georgia. The division was called the Golden Griffins because of its initial air-ground mission. Griffins are legendary animals from Greek mythology that are half lion and half eagle, that were known for their courage and ferocity. Griffins were so feared by the ancient people that their rulers of Asia provinces used to guard their vast treasures. In October 2008, the 108th Division IET became the 108th Training Command IET. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to witness the passing of the colors. The change of command is a simple yet traditional event that is rich with symbolism and heritage. The key to the ceremony is the passing of the colors. Soldiers often carried staffs or standards into the battle and identified them as a unit. Throughout military history, unit colors have marked the position of the commander on the battlefield and served as a rallying point. While attacking or rallying on the battlefield, soldiers would follow the standards or guidance While attacking or rallying on the battlefield, soldiers will follow the standards or guidance of their leaders, most often found at the forward edge of the battle. For the modern-day soldier, his or her organizational colors record the organization's history, its glories, its battles, and campaigns. The very soul of a military unit is symbolized in the colors under which it fights, for they present not only the lineage and honors of the unit, but also the loyalty and unity of its soldiers. The colors are the commander's symbol of its authority, representing his responsibility to the organization. Wherever the commander is, there are also the colors. The custodian of the colors is the command sergeant major, who is the senior enlisted soldier in the unit and principal advisor to the commander. The ceremony begins as Command Sergeant Major Musso, representing the backbone of the command, passes the colors to Major General Juknelis for the last time, signifying the 108th Training Command NCO Corps' last act of allegiance to their commander. Major General Juknelis will in turn pass the colors to Major General LaBeouf, thereby relinquishing his responsibilities and authority of which he was entrusted upon assuming command, and ensuring that the unit is never without officer leadership. Major General LaBeouf will then pass the colors to Major General Dyer, charging him with the same responsibilities and authority, thus demonstrating his confidence in the commander's ability to handle the responsibilities of commanding and maintaining or bettering the unit. Attention to orders. Major General Dyer assumes command of the 108th Training Command, Initial Entry Training, effective 20 November 2022. Let it be known from this day forward that the President of the United States has placed special trust and confidence in your patriotism, dedication, integrity, and leadership abilities. Therefore, you are hereby appointed as the Commander, 108th Training Command, Initial Entry Training. Major General Dyer will now return the colors to Command Sergeant Major, signifying the trust and confidence he places in the Commander's Non-Commissioned Officer Corps. This is the Command Sergeant Major's first act of allegiance to his new commander.
On seat. Arms. Now, parade rest.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Deputy Commanding General of the United States Army Reserve, Major General Eugene LaBeouf.
All right, how we doing today? Oh, beautiful, beautiful morning here in Charlotte. little bit of brisk breeze here, I guess, but we're doing all right. All right. Hey, everybody in the formation there, shake it out a little bit. All right, shake it out. All right. I'll hear from the CSM later. All right, but shake it out a little bit. All right. Seriously. All right. If you need to rub your hands a little bit, do that too. It's okay. Color guard, too bad. All right, you're going to have to stand as you are. All right. But everybody else, all right, feel free to do that. All right, please do that. All right, I'll be pretty quick here, team. So I know folks are a little cold out there, but what an honor to be here today. A nice drive from Fort Bragg this morning. It was an absolutely beautiful drive. I took kind of the back roads actually today, just to see a little bit more of Carolina. I like to try to avoid the interstates on occasion when I have the opportunity to, and it just reminded me just how fortunate we are and blessed we are. One, to be serving in this great United States Army, and two, to do it right here in North Carolina. So it's great stuff. But fellow general officers, distinguished guests, fellow soldiers, family and friends, and supporters of the Army Reserve, on behalf of Lieutenant General Jody Daniels and all the fantastic soldiers, civilian professionals, and families of the 108 Training Command, welcome and thank you for joining us here today. We really appreciate that. I'm excited to congratulate General Dyer on his selection as the next commander of the 108 Training Command. All right, Bill, outstanding. All right, really glad to have you join the team here. All right, and your wife Jill as well. So welcome, glad to have you on board here. We know he's going to do great things as he takes the reins of one of the Army's and TRADOC's most impactful commands, and that's absolutely the case. I'm very happy and honor our outgoing commander, all right, General Andrew Juknelis. Andy, congratulations again. All right, as you saw, I didn't really want to give up those colors here today, so but that's a hallmark of a great commander, quite frankly. Right, that command becomes a part of you, and it will always be that way. And so I'll say a few more things about that in just a moment. All right, but he's going to get his new assignment in the Asia Pacific region, and he's going to do great things. So, as I said, I came over from Fort Bragg. That's where my office is there in Marshall Hall. Pretty. It's about 2.5 hour drive. A little bit better as the crow flies is that, but always jump at the chance to meet and greet soldiers. I really enjoy it. That's what defines the Army, the soldiers. All right, and you're responsible for training our foundation of the Army, and couldn't be more important mission than that. All right. In fact, I'm able to officiate a ceremony honoring two great leaders, just icing on the cake today for me, for sure. So, as I said, let me start with talking about Andy just a little bit here. All right, his amazing, successful assignment here, the long list of accomplishments, and I'll touch on a few of the highlights. The first, Andy was responsible for collective training to increase the readiness of Army Reserve units from the company through the brigade levels. He oversaw all aspects of training under the 108's purview. So that's 7,500 soldiers in 3 direct supporting divisions in the continental United States and Puerto Rico, covering down on basic combat training, 1 unit station training, ROTC, West Point summer training, Army Drill Sergeant Academy support, and Task Force Marshal. All right, that's a training for Navy personnel deploying with Army units as part of a joint force. But effective training doesn't go beyond the classroom. All right, it actually goes much beyond the classroom. It also means promoting and demonstrating teamwork during exercises and different events. And he's been a key player in arranging and accommodating the Sandhurst competition at West Point. All right, what an awesome competition that is. That competition is named after the British Military Academy. It brings together teams from every U.S. Service Academy, select college ROTC programs, as well as international cadets, to test their military skills in a variety of challenges, help grow international partnerships, and foster future military leaders among our allies. Really just an amazing competition. And thanks for your leadership on that. And then there's the All-In, First-In training program, which is developed to increase the number of drill sergeants and instructors available. We've got to continue to do that. This has been a tremendous impact and improved the quality cadet command training that's been provided as well. All in, first in. And he's focused on readiness, commitment to maintaining the highest standards of of educating future leaders will have an impact for years to come, and I would say for decades to come. Aside from his excellence in training, Andy demonstrated throughout his time as an 108 commanding general that he's a team player who always has the time for everyone. So I'd be remiss if I didn't touch on Andy's unique leadership style, which you've all had a taste experience here. Okay, because there's no doubt that life of the 108 will be just a little less interesting when he's gone. If you're looking to add some color to your day, ask him how he's doing. How are you doing, Andy, by the way? Of course, that's great to hear, all right? That's great to hear. All right, he's been known to enjoy a good cigar, right, with staff during comprehensive soldier fitness events, all right? So really important for those fitness events. And finally, you're definitely missing out if you haven't seen, all right, is Steven Tyler from Aerosmith, for some of you younger folks that may not know that. Okay, Imitation, where he belts out harmonica on YouTube. All right, so that's good stuff. Leader, mentor, family advocate, top-notch harmonica player, and he's also well known as an active partner in community relations and employer support. Coordinating with close contacts in local government, business, and academia, his efforts have contributed significantly towards recruiting and retention. And as a standout example, Andy has inspired many soldiers, as well as many other service members, to remain in uniform and dedicate themselves to a life of service. Andy, as happy as I am here to officiate today, I'm happier still that you'll continue as an officer in the Army Reserve after this assignment. And the Army is very happy for that. For those who don't know, Andy's next assignment is in Korea, going back there, all right? And this is not his retirement ceremony. So if you brought a present, make sure you say it's a parting gift. Or go and find a receipt and get your money back, all right? And save it for later. Of course, none of Andy's accomplishments here would have been possible without the support of his family. I want to say hi and welcome, all right, or Andy's parents, all right, are they here? They're tuning in online, all right, Joe, Helen, it's great to have you online here today, all right, that's fantastic, really appreciate you joining. I know you're extraordinarily proud of Andy, and as are we. We certainly can't forget Andy's wife, over 20 years, May, great to see you again, all right, it's absolutely outstanding. Andrew and May met while working at Stryker Endoscopy, okay? All right, interesting. A world-leading medical technology company, dated for 4 years before tying the knot. All right, took you a little while to convince her, right? Okay, I got it. Here's an interesting tidbit about May, though, okay? All right, we're going to tell on you a little bit, May, all right? All right. Hey, that's good. Good job, Andy. You got good influence. I think that's good influence. All right, her mother and father both played and coached for the Chinese national volleyball team for many years, all right? That's outstanding. She came to the U.S. from China on a volleyball scholarship and was a Division I All-American at Western Michigan, all right? Division I athlete, all right? That's just simply outstanding. All right, I won't get into a jumping contest with you. I think and most people here beat me there anyway, so too. As all-around athletics coach, she's also a fantastic golfer. All right, I'm sure you could teach me many lessons, and a holder of several ladies' club championships. That's outstanding, May. In addition to golf, I'm pretty sure May can beat Andy at hiking, biking. Sorry, I'm going to go on. Running, skiing, swimming, softball, ping pong, and anything else that requires athleticism, right? Okay. May, on behalf of all the soldiers, DoD civilians, and families of 108, thanks for all your support. All right, really appreciate that. Now, I want to tell you a little bit about our company commander, all right, William Dyer III. Okay, otherwise known as Bill to most of us. So Bill comes to us after serving as the commanding general of the Army Reserve Legal Command in Gaithersburg, Maryland. All right, so we got an attorney in our presence here. All right, He's a JAG, okay? Going from an infantry officer, all right, to a JAG, all right? But there's a reason why they're general officers, right? Because they can do a lot of different things as well, okay? He's an established leader and part of a growing roster of multi-talented general officers leading the force. And I can assure you, the 108th is in great hands with General Dyer. Like Andy, Bill has a good share of fans and supporters. I want to welcome, let's see, we have daughters here. Is it Catherine? Sarah. Okay, I'm sorry, Sarah. All right, Sarah from Vanderbilt, right? Yeah, okay, all right, good stuff. All right, go Commodores, all right. So Sarah is a registered nurse in orthopedics care unit at the Vanderbilt University Medical Center, all right, and Catherine, who's not here present today, but she's a research microbiologist at Vertex in Boston. Wow, okay, just extraordinarily accomplished daughters. I understand, Sarah, that you're in the process of applying for a position in the Army Nurse Corps, is that right? Okay, all right, awesome. All right, hopes to join the Army Reserve, and we can hardly wait until she gets here. So that's going to be outstanding. So really, really appreciate that. That is simply outstanding. And Catherine, I know the Army Reserve has an excellent position and facilities waiting for her as well. So I'll have to talk to her on the side, I guess. So I look forward to that. All right. So hey, team, at the reception and things, make sure you take time to say hello to Bill's really talented wife. 31 years, right? 31 years. That's outstanding. Congratulations. Okay. Microbiologist, all right? Jill raised 2 daughters, and Bill, you did too as well, I guess, right? So, but no. Bill says, all right, that Jill was the reason he was able to run a civilian law practice and serve as an officer in the Army Reserve. Not an easy thing to establish a law practice and at the same time have a career in the Army Reserve, that's for sure. And so, Jill, thank you for leading the household there and helping make sure that the house ran straight and the entire family was taken care of. All right, that's for sure. So, team, let's have a resounding round of applause here for both May and Jill. Will? All right, so Bill, soon you'll take responsibility of the hard-charging soldiers and civilians that make up the crucial Army Reserve team, right? And so, you've got it, or you already feel the weight on your shoulders a little bit, all right, but you got the experience already of having commanded already before, all right? It's not an easy assignment. It's a tough assignment. Command can be lonely at times, all right? But I know you're up for the job, you're ready for the job, and you're going to do, lead this organization to even greater heights. I'm not about to give you any pep talks or advice because I know you've got this. General Daniels knows that you got this. Remember, I and the entire Army Reserve team will provide all the support that we can. We're here for you, believe it or not. USARC headquarters, all right, is here for you, all right? You may not believe that out there, okay, but we're actually here for you. All right, anything that you need, all right, come up on the net, all right? We may not be able to always get it to you, but come up on the net anyway, and our job is to serve you. That's absolutely the case, okay? And so team here, all right, for those in the formation as well, that goes as well for you. Of course, work through your chain of command, all right? And I know that Bill and the whole command team will work very, very, very hard for you. And then Bill, of course, Andy's still there, right? Although he'll be a couple time zones away, all right? Well, about a dozen or so, right? But that's okay, maybe 13 time zones. And he'll take your call too, though, right? If you need to bend his ear, just make sure you consider the time difference in Korea, all right, before you dial, all right? So always dial about 2 or 3 in the afternoon or so. Our time is always good, right? Okay, Andy's used to it, right? So he knows it. All right, it doesn't pick up. I guess you can always subpoena him, though, right? Okay, all right, you can take care of that. Andy will always be there for you, I know as well. All right, now, Andy, I got your attention back, right? Okay, the subpoena action, right? So, but allow me to offer sincere thanks and best wishes on behalf of our entire Army and our entire nation. Thank you all once again for your attendance today and continued support of the Army Reserve. Ready now, shaping tomorrow. Whoop. Thanks.
Hey, thanks a lot, man. All right. Check ass. Ooh, I got this from here. All right. Hey, stomp your feet a little bit, shake it out some. I was going to take the long way to get up here so I could warm up a little, but yeah, that would have just took longer. So let me welcome my friends and family, and 108 soldiers. You guys are awesome, and I want to welcome everyone to the unveiling and dedication of the General Juknelis giant memorial bust that you see behind you. I call it metamorphosis. And so I was trying to time this so that it would just come into the shape when I'm done. I had a commission when we moved into our new headquarters last summer, so I hope you guys like it. I think that the chin came out a little small. And by the way, while I'm on the topic, I want to thank our friends from the 81st Readiness Division are here. Eric Folkstead, thanks for coming. You guys are great supporters. Speaking to the move and everything that the RD does for us locally. So please give our thanks and appreciation to General Harder and your staff. I want to, let me see here. Oh, also from Fort Jackson, I want to welcome Sergeant Major Solomon, the Deputy Commandant from the Drill Sergeant Academy. We're real proud of you guys out there. And did you bring Sergeant Major Tavernier with you?
Not, sir.
Okay. Well, please thank everyone at Fort Jackson for us. You guys are awesome partners, and we're really proud of you out there. Proud to be making drill sergeants and making American soldiers with all you guys. So thanks for being here and representing. Right on. General Dyer, I really wanted you to meet all these teammates today because, right now, me and you, surrounded by our soldiers and our teammates, it really is a demonstration of all the great team that's behind the 108th every day and taking care of our soldiers, taking care of our soldiers and taking care of each other. So you got a great team behind you now, and I wanted to introduce a few of them. So, and even more of them are watching online. So the Schwado brothers are the civilian assistant to the Secretary of the Army from North and South Carolina. And so I want to thank you guys for helping us all the time get the resources of the Army dedicated to the 108th and the whole U.S. Army Reserve in this area. So thanks, gents, for being here. You guys always support us. It's a great network that you've helped us put together. And thanks, General LaBeouf, for your comments. Welcome back to the USARC. And thanks for being here to host the ceremony. It was a tough scheduling thing that we had to do for a while. We moved to several locations. I'm glad you guys all found it where it wound up. And so welcome back. Please thank the car and the Sergeant Major back there for their great support and for sending you out. So this is actually a pretty easy speech to write. I'm really just going to spend all my time thanking everybody. So therefore, I want to give a special thanks to my wife first. My lovely wife, May. Our 21st anniversary was yesterday. So we were really super happy to be here in Charlotte celebrating it with all of you. And actually, it's kind of funny that it worked out this way because it really symbolizes what we heard in the retirement ceremony yesterday about all the people that talk about how our family's impacted by the Army Reserve. And so, sure enough, we celebrated our anniversary last night at my hail and farewell. So thanks, sweetie, for all you do. You're wonderful. My folks are watching on the watching online. I want to thank them for their great support. The 108th team was especially welcoming to my family when I started here. It was a really warm and wonderful embrace that I will never forget from all of you. At that time, just like my family really needed that at the time, and it was awesome. It meant a lot to us. I won't forget it. So just like the retirement ceremony yesterday was a symbolic example of what a great team the 108th is. You know, the way that you guys share tragedy and triumph, success and failure, hard work and the good times. So, and I want to thank Jeff Ferris. What a great job you did on that ceremony yesterday to honor our soldiers. it was again, by the way. So I think you might have found yourself a new job here around the 108. So it's a really great example of what a warm, caring leader you are. So thank you, sir. Well done. It's been almost 3 years that I've been here, and I wouldn't trade any of it or any of the people that I've met to serve with here. I'm going to miss almost every one of you. So, this is my first time serving in command as a GO. As a 1-star, I was a chief of staff, right? So I wasn't a commander. But I want to say that having my first time having a general staff and a special staff that worked for me, it was an awesome experience. And you guys, the commitment that I see you guys do for our soldiers in our Army, I promise I will never again complain about my higher headquarters. When I watch how you guys put out around here for our soldiers, it just really, I wish they could all know it. And I'm sure secretly maybe they do know it. But I wanted to thank the staff and everybody here in front of our divisions and brigades, so that they know how much I appreciate what you do for them and our formation. So well done, staff. I do have to admit that the most fun and adventure that I had here in my last 3 years was with the company grade officers and the NCOs that are in the front office. And my heroic aide-de-camp, Kyle Kennedy, the SGSs, Deshaun Smith, Cheyenne Walsh, Kelly Derry, Casey Dietrich, Ellie Morales in the legal. I mean, all these young captains, the HHC commanders, J.D. Dorr, Doug Brock, Tara Machelat. These young, vibrant people, they give me a lot of inspiration and energy and motivation to keep doing what I do. You guys inspire me by your example of your energy. So God bless you guys, and for keeping all these colonels and the GOs straight. I really don't understand why such great young people would stay working in a headquarters like this, but thank God you do, and thanks for staying with me these years. You guys made this job a lot more fun for me, and I bet you for the whole staff too. I mean, we have a great time at battle assemblies, at least I do anyway. So thank you from me. We're blessed here also with the rock steady continuity through our CXO, Charlie Fairbanks, who's with his own unit today in the field out in Utah. He might be a little colder than you guys. And JoJo Anderson, and our entire civilian workforce. And the same with the training divisions. These civilians it's my first experience also working with DA civilians. Because you don't do that until you're at a high level command like this. So you guys are wonderful. And I mean, who do you think right now is holding down the fort while we're all out here in formation? So I know that the 108th was here before me. It's going to be here after me and after all of us. So there's going to be lots of commanders and staff and soldiers that come and go from the 108th. But our great civilians are going to stay here and keep doing a great job for you. So thanks, teammates, for that. Thanks for being great teammates and for giving us a good, light but steady hand on the wheel to keep this unit continuously moving. So I've seen about 3 turnovers of the entire general staff since I've been here. At first it was pretty scary because I thought these were all the guys that knew everything. But every time it's been great. For all you guys who volunteer for the primary staff positions and put yourself in for this, chief of staff, past and present, by the way, thanks so much. A lot of them have gone on to bigger and better things. Quite a few general officers come out of those ranks as well, and I think that you guys got that to look forward to. So please keep up the synergy there. I think our command climate is great. That's why it's important, and you have all proven that people are more productive and they can make mission when they work in a great place that has a positive climate. I'm fortunate also to have 2 great command sergeant majors, Judd Musso and Todd Priest, and I think that one of these days, one of you guys is going to be the Sergeant Major of the Army, of the U.S. Army Reserve, maybe the Army. So I really could not have asked for better senior enlisted advisor. So it's been a great time. You've given me personally a lot of great advice, and you got a great touch with the soldiers And so, and I appreciate you and me working together. We've shared a lot of laughs. We've been through a lot of like, not difficult like physical times, but challenging command times. And because of our our good time together and our relationship, it's been really fun. And while I'm on the topic, I want to thank all the commanders that are here in the formation. My division commanders have been super great supporters. All the guys who are brigade commanders and the battalion commanders, you guys who volunteer for command, I really, really appreciate it. You shoulder a lot of risk for no extra pay. And so I have the utmost respect for those of you who have done that. And that goes for you too, Bill. So congratulations to you and Jill and your family on your selection for command. And we're really glad to have you here. There's no one else I'd rather have here to take the reins of this great formation. Your reputation has preceded you, and I think that your positive and thoughtful leadership style will be an easy transition for the 108 team. So welcome, I'm glad to have you here. Thank you, teammates. When I was listening to General LaBeouf mention all the things that I've done, really I know it's all the stuff that you do. And thanks for having me along and inviting me to participate in it. So I'm real proud of you guys. Kick ass. Well done.
Ladies and gentlemen, the commander of the 108 Training Command, Initial Entry Training, Major General Dyer.
Hey, good morning, 108. General Buff, thank you so much for coming over from Bragg for presiding. General Juknelis, Andy, thanks. Your friendship, your mentorship, your guidance, and for setting the bar impossibly high here. I appreciate it. Family, friends from my past lives and my current life, thanks so much for being here. So, the Army of 2022 is superior in every way to the Army of 1922. And the Army of 1922 is superior in every way to the Army of 1822. And the Army didn't get better over time because of radical transformation that happened in a flash, or because of a few great leaders who happened onto the scene at a certain time. It happened because of systematic, methodical improvement over time. And that's our challenge. That's our challenge. How do we turn an excellent command into a command that is somehow better? How do we turn a command, how do we turn great into greater? We do it by focusing on a couple clear priorities. So I have two priorities, just two, very simple, that I'll share with you briefly today. The first is mission and the second is people. And in case you're thinking, oh, I've heard this before, I'm going to take a nap, hang with me for just a second. So in terms of mission, we all know what the mission is. Everybody here knows what every person in this command knows what the mission is. So we recruit, develop, and deploy drill sergeant and ROTC cadre to help the Army get after its end strength requirements. That's it. The challenge is looking for what I like to think of as straight, solid black lines. Straight, solid black lines. I like to look for direct correlation between the things that we're doing every day, every week, every month, and accomplishing our mission. So when a command this good, that's been this well led for this long, and has had this record of accomplishment, I expect to find an awful lot of straight, solid black lines. But in every organization over time, sometimes things that start as straight, solid black lines become curvy lines or dotted lines. And every once in a while, you'll find a place where there's no line at all, where there's really no correlation between what we're doing, at a post-camper station and what accomplishment of our mission requires. And as leaders, and I'm talking primarily to the leaders who are here, it's our requirement. It's what our country requires of us. It's what the Army needs us to do is look and find these curvy lines, these dotted lines, these non-existent lines, and fix them. That's what leaders do. They fix stuff. And that's our responsibility. So if we do that, putting our most effective, our most important weapon system, our people on missions more effectively, more efficiently, will necessarily help continue this command moving forward. Second priority is people. And when you talk about people in the context of today's Army, you very quickly end up talking about recruiting and retention. Recruiting and retention. So recruiting is critical. You guys probably all are well aware that the Army is under its end strength requirement. Has been for a while, and we're taking a hit because of it. The Army writ large is doing a lot of great things to improve recruiting. The Army Reserve is doing a lot of things to improve recruiting. We're doing bonuses. We're reimagining our image. We've got some video productions that are being put out there. We're doing a lot of things to get after that. And in my view, in focusing on recruiting, which we need to do, we sometimes forget focusing on retention. So let me ask you, how long does it take to turn a shaggy-haired high school senior who's kind of soft into a Sergeant E5 who can walk into a room, walk into an environment, demonstrate a commanding presence, demonstrate the NCO values, and lead people? How many years does it take that to happen? How many years does it take a red solo cup holding college freshman hanging out at a frat house? How long does it take to turn that person into a first lieutenant who we can put on a plane and fly to a foreign country and put into a complex situation and count on that young officer to lead folks, to accomplish the mission, and to bring everybody back safely? The answer in both cases is years. It takes years to do that. So we can knock ourselves out recruiting people, and we have to recruit, but I'm focused principally on retention. Now the happy news is, and you guys may have heard this, that just a few weeks ago at Fort Bragg, the 108th was recognized from among the Army Reserve's largest commands as first in retention. And that means, to me, there's a lot of great stuff going on now. It doesn't mean we're not losing people. We are losing people. We're just losing fewer people than the other large Army Reserve commands. And we can do better than that. Because right now in this formation, the 7,500 person formation spread out across the entire United States, we've got sergeants, we've got first lieutenants, we've got captains, we've got specialists who are thinking for one reason or another, you know, this isn't really what I thought it was. This isn't a good use of my time. I think I'm going to get out. I don't like fill in the blank. And yes, it's our responsibility to identify those individuals and to wrap our arms around them and to try to convince them to stay, but I want more than that. What we really need to do is look at our systems, look at our processes, and figure out what it is about what we're doing that's causing these individuals to have those thoughts. Because if one is having that thought, there are probably more than that. I think the Army Reserve is planning to, maybe has already started a survey to figure out why people are leaving the Army Reserve. And I'm not the amazing Kreskin, and I can't see into the future, but mark me here today, I think there are probably three things that are going to come out of that. Three reasons why people principally leave the Army Reserve. Poor leadership, lack of meaningful work, and challenges finding work-life balance. Those are probably the three big ones. And so what I need all of you to do across the formation, particularly at the leadership level, is help me identify when we're losing people, not necessarily what we need to do to keep that one individual in the formation, but ways we can improve what we're doing. If we've got a pocket of activity somewhere where people are sitting around a battle assembly and don't feel fully engaged, we need to identify that and fix it. If we, across this formation of tremendous leaders, have a leader who's not getting it done, who's exhibiting counterproductive leadership, not inspiring people the way he or she needs to, we need to identify that. We need to counsel that. We need to fix that. And through that, we will improve our retention. The beauty of these two priorities is that they are inexorably intertwined. Accomplishing the mission and taking care of our people are inexorably intertwined. If we improve the processes by which we accomplish our mission, we are by definition going to have more engaged troops. People who see the result of what they're doing who understand and appreciate the importance of that to the Army and to the nation, they're going to be more engaged. The flip side of that is if we remove some of the obstacles that are persuading people to leave the formation, if we make leaders who are underperforming into better leaders, if we remove some of the unnecessary white space from calendars and give people meaningful things to do so that they can go home after their weekend battle assemblies and they can tell their families, their friends, their employers, this is what I did, this is why it's of consequence, then you're going to have soldiers who are more engaged in the mission than they would have done otherwise. Not just staying in our formation, but more engaged. So, my priorities are simple. I think they're the priorities of the Army. I'd ask that you help me do what what I said I was going to do at the beginning, which is to build on the amazing legacy of this command, to honor the contributions of General Juknelis during his tenure here, and to make this command better. To do anything less would be to do a disservice to all those members of the NOV, past and present. I'm honored to be here with you today. I appreciate very much your sergeant confidence in me and placing me in this position. And I look forward to leading you in this grand adventure. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the benediction given by Chaplain Anthony Holloway and remain standing for the playing of the Army Song.
Let us pray. Almighty God, we thank you for your presence here this day. May your Spirit be near us to defend us, within us to refresh us, and above us to bless us. These things we ask in your holy name. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony.